Some white trash royalty just walked in. How are you, Steve Austin?
I'm doing outstanding. Got a brand new shirt on. Just brought in Los Angeles, California yesterday. Right off the rack. Came here looking like $1 million. Had to climb out on the wing at about 1,500 miles into the trip, make a small engine repair. Got hit in the head with a goose, but I'm here.
Did that legit all happen?
No, it's complete BS, but it sounded good.
Well, I like the shirt. That shirt is not BS. It's very nice.
It's a great shirt.
It might strobe a little on our camera, but apart from that, I think it will look good.
Okay.
Yeah. How much was it?
Man, I don't know. I got 3 shirts, and the damage was about $900, so I think it's about a $300 shirt.
That's expensive because you like saving money, don't you?
No, yeah, I like saving money, but here's the thing. We're getting ready to come to this, and I've been wearing the same shirts for about the last 3 years for every single thing that I've been doing. So finally my wife said, we have got to go get you some new shirts because you've been wearing the same stuff over and over again. So I said, all right. And so we went down to the mall, and here I sit with this brand new badass shirt. And you know, when you're the cover of a 2K16 video game and you retired in 03 and it's 2015, you got to get gussied up a little bit. So it's a drop in a bucket to promote this video game. It's the greatest wrestling video game in the history of video games. Do you realize that?
Well, I wanted to ask you about the game, considering this is the launch event. What makes the 2016 incarnation the most exciting yet? Because, you know, they do come out every year.
Well, they do come out every year, but this one has, you know, more, I think there's over 120 people in the roster that you can play. I mean, you know, people from the old Legend stuff, the Attitude Era stuff, the current stuff, and guys from NXT. But also, man, when you go into story mode, it's kind of the story of my career. And I got a chance to watch some of that backstage before I came here and talked to you guys. And I was like, do you see this before every match? And they said, no, this is only in story mode because you can just play the video game. But I'll tell you, man, there was stuff that I've forgotten about my career that they dug up and they remembered in this thing. You see all my different looks, all the trials and tribulations, all the stuff that I went through. It's highly entertaining. So in story mode, you get the whole full 316 effect from start to finish.
It's amazing. We were just watching some footage of the King of the Ring 96, you and Jake, in the game. Yeah. Looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I was watching it too, and it was pretty much, you know, as we just sat there and watched it verbatim, you know, with what happened in, you know, in the ring. I went in with the 16 stitches, and, you know, the fact that, you know, Jim's calling the action, it just took me right back to being in the moment.
Now let's talk about you being the cover star. I don't like to get controversial, but do you think you, being the cover star, and you haven't been on screen kind of full-time in a long time, do you think that's got anything to do with WWE not having enough faith in the current stars to maybe sell the game?
I don't think that at all. I think you just went back to a guy who had one of the biggest runs in the history of the business who hadn't been on the cover of a game like this, and they pulled me out of the woodwork. And, you know, as a hardcore WWE fan, you could always have your favorites because on my Twitter account, you know, I heard, well, man, it should have been Seth Rollins or it should have been Roman Reigns or it could have been, you know, anybody's favorite.
So people are saying that to you.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of them. But by and large, people were thrilled for me. And here's the thing. When you're sitting at your house, and I'm a very busy guy, but when you're sitting at your house, you get a phone call and WWE calls you and it's Vince McMahon and they want you to be on the cover of 2K16. What do? Do you lobby yourself out of that job and say, well, that sounds good, but let me give you the reason why I shouldn't be on the cover? You don't do that. You say, okay, it's an honor, and here we go. Now, don't get me wrong. There's work that goes in with being the cover superstar. I want this game to sell more than any other video game that they've ever made in history. So I'm very honored. It doesn't speak to the depth of the roster or the fact that they don't have confidence in any of these guys. Hey, they went back to the well of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's a well that still churns out some pretty good gold.
And also, we know what happens when you say no to Vince McMahon. That doesn't end well.
Say no. And again, why would you say no? It's a hellacious opportunity, and anybody that gave that phone call would have been just jumping out of their pants with joy. And so I'm happy to be here in front of you as a cover superstar.
And what else have you got coming up? Obviously, you're the cover of 2K, very busy time for you, but as you said, you're a busy man. What else is on Steve Austin's horizon?
I just finished wrapping 2 seasons of 18 episodes of Broken Skull Challenge, the toughest, baddest show on American TV. Fixing to go back and start filming another show for CMT, and that's the #1 show on their network. Fixing to go back and film another season of Redneck Island. Continue to deliver 2 cans of audio whoop-ass a day. Steve Austin show, family-friendly show on Tuesday, and explicit content on Thursday. And I'm a brand ambassador for Kawasaki Motorsports, so I'm promoting their brand, a brand which I've been using since 1978. And so it's kind of like a homecoming, hooking up with those guys. November, December coming up, that's when I go to my ranch and do my deer hunting. Yeah. The only 2 months of the year that I take off. Now, I'll do a podcast or two because I'm still doing the WWE podcast stuff. I'll be going on the road for a couple of those. But those are my two months where that is my time and I use it for me.
What guests have you got coming up on the network podcast?
I'm gonna talk with WWE about that and see who's available, and with timing coming up and winding down into WrestleMania, I think we're going to be strategic with some of that. So I think it remains to be seen. I don't want to drop any names right now because it still is in discussion.
And just very quickly, I'm being wrapped up talking about WrestleMania 32. Is it a definite no? You and Lesnar?
No. It's a definite no. It's going to be interesting to see who he's in there with. So it'll be exciting. I look forward to being there. I'd like to be there. It's in my home state. I was there for George Strait's concert, when he had 105,000 in there and the Cowboy Rides Away, and it was amazing. So to have a squared circle set up in there with WWE written inside of it would be a real cool spectacle to see that many people there to see the sport of professional wrestling, also known as sports entertainment. That was for Vince.
Steve, as always, pleasure to see you, man.
Man.
Thanks so much.